but I didn't want to sort of blindside anybody. So, Bok Choy comes in many different sizes and shapes. This is probably I don't know, you can get baby bok choy, which is about half the size of this, and about twice the price, which is why I picked the larger one. And I peeled off some of the leaves so that I would have 400 grams, which is what it calls for. I used the kitchen scale to do that. You can guesstimate as as would happen with many dishes with vegetables. So I'm just cutting off the end there and get rid of it. And I'm going to cut it in slices about 2 to 3 inches long. This has, if you are familiar with some of the instructions or advice from the last version of the food guide, there's a lot about choosing dark green vegetables because they're high in nutrients, and the leaves of bok choy are nice and dark green, so that's a good benefit. And I've got clear water here to just rinse this off. This is just clean cold water. And I'm going to dry it in a salad spinner. Because you probably noticed if you are cooking anything with hot fat, like if you get fat really hot in the wok, and then if you add anything that's got water in it, it just explodes. You get a lot of splash. So that's the reason for drying it. And the reason for washing it after it's cut, I think, is because there's often a lot of grit that gets caught in between the leaves and the stems. So do that. And I've got enough to make 2 batches of this. I'm not sure that one's going to be enough for everybody to get a taste, because it, like most leafy greens, it cooks down quite a bit.
Margaret, is there a separate recipe page for this dish?
Yeah, stir-fried bok choy.
It's on the first
It's
page.
on the first page. Well, it's all fried.
It's on the first page.
Oh, sorry, I stand corrected.
That's okay. I just didn't follow the right order, did I? Pretty dry. Got a lot of water out of it. Just give it another spin, just to be sure. Thanks. Okay, so I need 2 cloves of garlic. Put this where it's out of the way. No. Just that a little. 2 cloves of garlic. And I'm going to do 4 because I'm going to use 2 for each batch. And I don't have a cleaver. It would be fun to have a cleaver, but I don't have one. So it says smashed with the flat side of a cleaver. But I'm just using my big knife. And that, and it loosens the skin, and then I'll sort of flatten it again with the knife. That's not a very good one. Sorry about the noise, it's the table's fault, it's not my fault really. If you did it on your kitchen counter, it would be firm and you wouldn't hear all that rattling. There. And one more. Yes, does anyone here got a cleaver? Do you use a cleaver when you're cooking? No, I don't either. Like I said, it would be fun to have one. What about steamers? Does anybody use a bamboo steamer?
Yes.
Yes. They're great for, you can layer them, steam a bunch of things at once.
And they're really inexpensive.
Oh, no kidding, eh? Like, don't get them from a fancy kitchenware store. Get them from Chinatown
Right.
if you're traveling at all. Just flattening that. Flatten a little more here.
My husband just picked all our garlic in the last week or so.
Oh, great.
It's the one crop the slugs don't eat. Or in the woods, it's crazy.
Oh, those slugs. We've got slugs and earwigs and goats. The earwigs aren't as bad as last year anyway.
They're smaller.
Yeah, they're smaller. I don't know if they're like biennial crop or something. Maybe next year they'll be immense. I hope not. They sure enjoy certain vegetables, don't they? So, I need three slices of ginger. 1, 2, 3 for that one. And 3 for this batch. Need to just crush them a little bit. Okay. And so now I'm going to make a little sauce for it using chicken stock. Three tablespoons of chicken stock. So this, 1/8 of a cup is 2 tablespoons. And a little bit more. There, 3 tablespoons. Sugar. Teaspoon of sugar. And there. Teaspoon of sugar. Make sure I get these things in the right order because you're watching and you'll catch me if I do that. The stock and the sugar, they go together, okay?
And here we thought we were such a nice crowd.
Oh, it's okay, I'm kept on my toes.
You're not nearly as bad as the prize bingo crowd by time. If you want to be a competitive,
Okay.
At the bingos?
some of the bingos can get more, yes.
So I'm going to use canola oil in this, Luke. Is that okay with you? Okay. And I need how much? I need 2 tablespoons. I just usually get the canola oil in a big jug and then pour it into a little container. And that's getting hot. And now I'm going to stir fry the garlic and ginger just briefly. And then we add the bok choy. We'll stir it down just until it starts to wilt. And of course, the stems are going to stay crisp because they're very thick and full of water. Probably see it starting to wilt down now. So I'm going to add the stock or the broth. And I'm just using canned lower sodium chicken broth. If you've got your own, all the better. It's going to taste better. And there it is. Got that little bit of sugar in it. Now we're going to add a little bit of light soy sauce, which was specified. And I learned from reading that light soy sauce is actually saltier than dark soy sauce. So there you go. And now I'm going to just cover this. As soon as I find the cover. Thank you. And we'll leave that cook for a minute or two. I was glad to find this method because when I've tried to cook bok choy before, I haven't been really satisfied with the results because I was just winging it, just sort of trying whatever I thought might work, but I'm much more pleased with this method.
That's what I find. I like everybody else's bok choy on my own.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so I'm looking for recipes, but I'm going to use the recipe to cook it. So.
Yeah, that's the way
Yeah, I just played around with ginger and garlic with it.
So Sherry, what I'm going to do is I'm going to serve up this first batch, and then I'll cook the other one. And if you could serve that, and people.
Is the sesame oil just drizzled or?
Yes, it's just drizzle on. So we'll do that. And I think all sesame oil that you buy in bottles is toasted sesame oil. I've been looking at the labels and they all seem to say that. So I don't know that there's untoasted sesame oil. Give this just a really light drizzle. It has quite a strong flavor. And sesame oil, you don't often cook with it because it's sort of it's a volatile flavor, I guess, and it cooks off rather quickly.